Just in case you guys didn't know, Rivian is helping customers claim their tax rebates for the R1T and the R1S. Now, despite the fact that most vehicles don't quite qualify for Inflation Reduction Act incentives, Rivian is helping customers who ordered the R1T and the R1S claim their $7,500 tax credit, even though neither vehicle qualifies under the new regulations as set by the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, after President Biden signed, the manufacturers had from August the 31st, December 2022, to figure out how to get around it. Now, even though the government has yet to publish the final EV tax credit guidelines, incentives for certain manufacturers were out of the window as soon as it dropped. And that was the beginning of the year. Now, the best solution various automakers could come up with was to have their clients sign a binding agreement before 2023. Yet the news on Rivian website states that only customers who entered the binding order agreement before August 16, 2022 may qualify for the federal tax credit, and only if the government is feeling generous. Now, to enter the binding agreement, all Rivian requires was a $100 non-refundable deposit, which leads to the Internal Revenue Service generosity. Now, the IRS have different opinions on what a binding agreement is. Now, for Rivian, it's $100 according to the IRS website. The indication of a binding contract is a significant non-refundable deposit or down payment. The significant being not too solid as far as the definition. And the IRS is going to see that $100 as that binding agreement if customers ordered the $70,000 plus vehicle. Now, before the IRA was signed into law, which the Inflation Reduction Act, a tax credit was given to every EV sold until a manufacturer hit their 200,000 units sold. Now, the new tax credit has stricter restrictions based on where a car is built, where the battery components and the raw materials come from, any household income. Now, the cap for SUVs and pickups is set at $80,000, which means only the entry-level R1T with a standard battery pack and a range of 260 miles will qualify. Now, upgrading to a large pack and adding a destination fee takes the electric truck above that threshold. A base at the R1S with a standard pack and no options just slips it under $79,800. And that's destination included. Now, the standard pack range rules that the Rivian's out as a contender because the 260 miles is not good enough. The large pack of 328 miles is more acceptable. Now, the max pack, what most people desire, but it would be delayed several times in addition to making the European Union sweat. The Inflation Reduction Act also puts startups like Rivian and Lucid in a challenging position under the old rules. It could have given customers a decent tax credit until it built the 200,000 vehicles. Now, that milestone Tesla passed years ago. Now, under new legislation, several Tesla models qualify again, but Rivian and Lucid are left out in the cold. So get your jacket, folks. Now, it's nice of Rivian to provide the customers with a clear information and link to all the correct paperwork, but whether it will work remains to be seen. But we will see. We will see what happens. But how do you claim that EV tax credit? Now, prior to signing for the Inflation Reduction Act, Rivian offered existing pre-order holders the chance to sign a binding order agreement, which we talked about earlier. Now, to claim this tax credit, you have to do Form 8936. Now, here are the instructions in the IRS guidance. Now, please note that the key considerations. Now, from the guidance to elect the credit under the prior rule, you must elect the credit on your 2022 tax returns after you take delivery of the vehicle. Now, depending on the date the vehicle is delivered, you can claim the credit on your original, superseding, or amended 2022 tax return. Now, from the instructions, taxpayers who took delivery of the 2023 after August 15, 2022, as a date placed in service while filing the Form 8936. And then if you're unsure what category you fall into, now if you took delivery of the Rivian in 2022, you can apply for the previous IRC 30D federal EV tax credit without needing a binding order agreement. Now, if you already taken delivery of your Rivian 2023 and signed a binding agreement before August 16th, that is 2022, follow the instructions as a part of your 2022 tax return. And if you haven't taken delivery yet, before August 16th, 2022, still follow the instructions. And just remember, follow the instructions. Now, for information, you can always ask for guidance shared by the IRS. And there's a jet flying over my house, but let's disregard that. Now, ultimately, eligibility for the tax credit is determined by the IRS, which means, confide in them. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and just remember, this is awesome that Rivian is offering assistance for this. I think that is a fantastic thing. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and have a fantastic day.